Now, the traveling and leisure industry is one of the industries which was being seriously impacted by the pandemic. I mean, when countries imposed lockdowns, people or the tourists were not traveling, going to countries or visiting other countries, meaning that even here locally in South Africa, so many tourists were sort of like restricted to visit South Africa, or were not coming to South Africa due to the pandemic. But I must say that now, since the pandemic, we are seeing it obviously fading away. It looks like so many tourists are coming yet again, visiting our country, visiting other countries worldwide, which is something that, to me personally, I believe that this will definitely bring some good revenues in the companies that are in this industry. Now, most of you that have been on this channel for quite some time, you'll know that one of the stocks that I was talking a lot about in the early days of this channel, it was Sun International. And Sun International, those of you, of course, again, that follow me, you'll know that I bought, or my average purchase share price on this before I decided to sell the company, it was around 10 rands per share. So my average, or all my average on Sun International, if you go and visit the video which I was talking about it, or about the companies to buy, like as seen on the screen here, you'll notice that my average purchase share price there was around 10 rands. Now, I think I sold Sun International when it hit 18 rands per share, which meant that I had generated almost or around 80% on the stock, which made me to be really excited, because the money that I took from Sun International, I took it to some of the companies that made sense for me to invest by then. But I must say that I was very happy by the kind of returns that Sun International had generated for me. And I must say that those of you that are still holding on to a company like Sun International, I'm sure by now you must be over the moon, because as it stands right now, Sun International is trading over 26 rands per share, which is something that is so incredible, because during the pandemic this stock was trading below 10 rands. And those of you that loaded the boat onto this stock when it was trading below 10 rands per share, like I said, you must be very happy, especially those that of course were on this YouTube channel back then. So if you're still holding Sun International because of the video that I was doing, or because of videos that I was doing in the early days of this YouTube channel, how is it going? How long are you planning to hold this Sun International of course company? Now, of course, like I said, traveling and leisure industry of course does not include only Sun International. There is City Lodge, there is of course other companies which are publicly listed on the JSE. But on today's video, guys, we want to talk of the inflows of the tourists comparing to last year, which, ladies and gents, made me to do this video today, trying to show you that we might continue seeing some serious growth onto this traveling and leisure industry, because the kind of tourists that are coming in, the inflows of tourists coming in South Africa, our country, are much better and way higher than the tourists that we were seeing last year around the same time. Now, this data that I'll be sharing with you, of course, it was the data which was collected for the month of May. But of course, before we dig deep into this video, you already know that the video is just an entertainment video, and you should not take it as a professional financial advice video. Now, I really appreciate if you can just hit that likes button, comment, and subscribe. That's if you have not subscribed to the channel already, so that at least you can get to see, of course, the content, the videos we produce, or I produce and post here on YouTube on a day-to-day. Now, like I said, if you seek professional financial advice, you already know what to do, and that is you need to go and consult the professional. Now, back into the latest data on the latest statistics showing the inflows of tourists for the month of May in South Africa when comparing to the tourist inflows for the month of May in 2021. Now, as seen on the screen, comparing to May of 2021 and May of 2022, there has been a jump of around 344.9% of tourists coming in SA. This, when I read this, or when I saw this on an article I was reading, I was blown away, and I was sort of like convinced that maybe I need to start looking at some of the companies that I need to put my money to, because, ladies and gents, like I said, the traveling and leisure industry has been, it's one of the industries which was heavily impacted by the pandemic. And as the pandemic fades away, or as things get better when we look at the pandemic, we are definitely seeing a lot of inflows when it comes to tourists. Because as seen on the screen, you notice that for the month of May last year, around May, the tourists from the US or tourists from USA or America were around 6,000. And I must say that this year around May, we saw our country receiving tourists of around 23.7 thousand from the US, which is something that must just show you that things are getting better. We are seeing a lot of tourists coming in our country yet again, which is a positive side, positive note to the companies or to the traveling and leisure industry companies which are publicly listed in the stock exchange. I mean, check UK. You'll notice that last year around May, that is in May 2021, the tourists were around 2,000 or 2,000, 3,000. But now, ladies and gents, May of 2022, South Africa, of course, received tourists from the UK of around or of over 15,000, which is something that is incredible and must just show you that it looks like there's going to be a huge, or the recovery on this industry, it is growing. And imagine we are not yet even on the festive seasons. Imagine the kind of growth that we can see, of course, during the festive seasons, and that is, of course, November, December, and maybe January. There will be a lot of tourists that are coming in our country, which, ladies and gents, those of you that are investing onto the traveling and leisure industry are definitely going to receive, or your companies are going to definitely generate some good revenues, or they are going to seriously see, of course, revenues growing because of the inflows from the tourists or from the international tourists that we are getting or that we'll be getting in our country. So I just thought I should just do this video exactly to show you that it looks like there is a huge recovery in the traveling leisure industry, because as seen on the screen, you'll notice that the tourist numbers, or the total number of inflows of tourists coming from other countries is increasing, and chances are it's going to continue increasing. And those, like I said, that are investing into the traveling and leisure industry stocks are definitely going to reap the good rewards, the good benefits that will come out of this. I know that, of course, companies like Sun International currently has a PE ratio of over or of around 26, which, looking at their peers, it might look overvalued by now. But I think before you judge that, or before you maybe conclude on that, you need to also look at other key terms. You need to also look at the latest fundamentals, latest developments, and then make a decision. If Sun International is the company that you would want to put your money in, you need to make a decision. If City Lodge is the company that you would want to put your money in, because with City Lodge, yes, we know that the company it's not profitable at the moment, which is why they have a negative PE ratio. But with these kind of inflows, can we see City Lodge becoming profitable again? These are some of the things that obviously you need to go and sit down and check which company can you put your money in, because the inflows that we are receiving this year are way much better than the inflows that we were receiving last year, which makes me want to believe or think that it looks like going forward we might see more and more inflows of people, of international people coming into South Africa. And where will those people sleep? Where will those people be spending time? They are going to be spending time at your Sun City. They are going to be spending time at the City Lodge hotels. They are going to be spending times at the companies or stocks which are listed in this traveling and leisure industry, which is why I think right now it's a good opportunity for you to go out there and start looking probably for some of the companies in this industry, because one way or the other, as of course this pandemic fades away, more and more people are going to begin to come and visit our country, and that will revive our traveling and leisure industry. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I should just give you this quick updates about the traveling and leisure industry news which I just read, of course, which made me want to think that maybe even myself, I have to start looking, maybe, or I can start looking at some of the companies that I can put my money to. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, comment and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to click or hit that notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget, like I said, to hit that like button. Now that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.